Lessons that I learned growing up about what it means to live in a family that has to struggle every day economically is a lesson I have never forgotten and never will forget.
A cheering, chanting crowd greeted Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders inside the David Lawrence Convention Center. Sanders just finished up speaking. This is the first public presidential rally ahead of next month's primary election in our area. Good afternoon, I'm Christine Sorensen. We have you covered from inside and outside the rally at the David Lawrence Convention Center, and Heather Abraham joins us live now with more. Heather.
Good afternoon, Christine. The Vermont senator was met by thousands here at the convention center. That speech just wrapping up within the last few minutes, and he wasted no time this morning getting to the core issues of his campaign. He was joined by local union leaders and spoke about what he calls disastrous trade agreements created out of corporate greed, according to Sanders, and leading to the loss of hundreds of thousands of jobs, including many in Pennsylvania. He also criticized Hillary Clinton and the super PACs that support her campaign, describing what he calls as a corrupt and complex campaign system. Take a listen to just part of the speech, which just ended.
Now, my message to corporate America is your greed is going to end. You're not going to continue to deindustrialize the United States of America. You're not going to continue to shut down plants here and move to cheap labor abroad. You're not going to cut the wages and benefits of American workers and give CEOs huge compensation packages. Together, we are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%.
With thousands in attendance, his statements, as you heard there, were often met by applause and cheering. I was here outside the convention center early this morning as many of those Bernie Sanders supporters were arriving here at the convention center, and there was an overwhelming number of young voters here to see the Vermont senator speak. There was no shortage of people for the first Pittsburgh campaign stop among the presidential candidates.
Guaranteed his polls won't drop. He will make it to the top. Go, Bernie, go. Go, Bernie, go.
Thousands of very enthusiastic Bernie Sanders supporters gathered outside the convention center waiting for the Vermont senator to arrive.
What it all comes down to is that we probably won't have a candidate like Bernie during my lifetime again, or if we do, it'll be a long time before it comes. So it's important to us to be able to come here and to see him when we have the chance.
Derek Jones and a group of friends arrived at 1:30 this morning and secured the first spots in line, a line that stretched the length of the building and crawled deep into the bowels of the parking garage.
We drove for 5 hours.
What time did you leave this morning?
Like midnight.
Yeah, okay.
It was a long drive, but we wanted to see Bernie. I just wanted to come and just see the crowd and feel the energy of Bernie speaking, and I thought it would just be really great.
The crowd was mostly made up of young 20 and 30-somethings.
I think he's definitely the perfect candidate for what we're looking for as we go into the workforce. The voting age is 18, so I mean, you can never be too young to really support the political process and to really care about the current state of the United States.
But some who attended weren't even old enough to vote.
I'm excited to hear his speech, tell about the world, and say what he can do.
I remember my mom talking a long time ago about how President Kennedy came to close to our hometown during the 1960 election. In her memory, I wanted us to come and do this.
Now, we don't have an official count yet as to how many people were in attendance today here at the convention center, but we're starting to see the flood of people filing out of the building. Sanders' camp says this will be the first of many campaign stops here in Pennsylvania, and we expect much of the same from the other candidates. But at this point, there are no scheduled stops for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Both Ted Cruz and John Kasich are scheduled to speak, however, this upcoming Friday at the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference in Harrisburg. Christine?
All right. Thank you so much, Heather.